It began not as an invasion, but a revelation, a single, pure note that hung in the air not just as a sound, but as a physical thing, a ribbon of sapphire light. For the hearing world, it was a new layer of beauty, a miracle. We could suddenly see the music we had only ever heard. Our laughter painted the air, our voices had color. But for the deaf community it was something else entirely. It was a language they had always felt in their hearts, now made visible to the eye for the very first time in human history. A child's wonder as she saw the visual shockwave of a slamming book, a drummer feeling the rhythm not through vibration, but through erupting spheres of deep, violet light. The wall that had separated our worlds for so long simply vanished. We weren't just hearing and deaf anymore. We were all seeing. Speaking the same, beautiful, colorful language. For that brief, shining moment it was perfect.
But humanity has a gift for turning miracles into noise. What was once beautiful quickly became a weapon. The world became a sensory war zone. The gentle colors of conversation were drowned out by violent, red shockwaves. Blinding white pulses a constant, chaotic storm of light. For the hearing, it was an assault on the eyes and ears. But for the deaf community, whose world is built on sight, it was an inescapable bombardment. The very tool that had granted them access to a new world was now making that world unlivable. Their primary sense, their window to everything, was under a relentless, colorful attack. A beautiful dream had curdled into a waking nightmare. The unity we found in color shattered. We were all drowning again. Not in silence, but in a blinding, deafening rainbow.
So we made a choice, a collective, global decision to save our sanity. We called it the Great Quieting, an unprecedented mission to engineer the silence we could no longer find naturally. Sound-absorbing panels became our new architecture. Soft, rubber soles replaced the clatter of shoes on pavement. Sign language evolved from a beautiful language into a vital, universal skill. We were building a new world, layer by silent layer. And it worked. The storm of color calmed for the hearing. It was a relief, a balm for our overloaded senses. For the deaf community, it was liberation. Their visual world was finally their own again. No longer a hostile, chaotic space, we had found a fragile peace. But in silencing the noise, we also began to silence the music. In muting the chaos, we muted the song. We had solved one problem without realizing we were creating a far deeper one, a world slowly being drained of its very soul. But in our perfectly silent world, a new sickness emerged. It didn't come from a virus or a toxin. It grew from the silence itself. We called it vocal atrophy. The doctors explained it simply: use it or lose it. The human voice is a muscle, and without exercise it withers. The sound of a singing voice became efficiently, fluently, but our homes, our cities, our world fell into a profound and permanent hush. We had not just engineered quiet, we had bred it into our very bodies. We had solved the problem of noise, and in doing so, we had erased the soundtrack of the human soul.
And so we arrive at our new world, a world of perfect, engineered silence. The chaos is gone. The overload has ended. But what remains when you strip away the noise? I watch her now, the dancer who once saw music in colors we could only dream of. She moves in the silence, and in her grace, I don't hear the music, I see her memory of it. A ghost of a symphony, painted with the colors of loss. The hearing world lost its voice, but the deaf world, they lost the very bridge we had built between us. That beautiful, colorful bridge. We gained peace, but at the cost of the song that made us human. We stand here together, in the quiet we created. One of us with a voice that can no longer speak, the other with hands that remember colors that are gone. We solved for noise, but we forgot. Some silences are louder than any sound.